first hour. We'll go down all the scores from last night, as most of you tuned in, I'm sure, on the HSA Radio Network Scoreboard Show, and we're able to hear who was able to win the games last night. And then as we come down the stretch here, only a few more weeks in high school football season, and then we'll be talking about the playoffs. So everybody jockeying for position in the region right now. So these next couple of region games left on the schedule for everybody, very important, especially for those that are trying to win a region. I know here in our region, in Benjamin Russell's region, it's going to come down to Opelika and Stanhope. As Stanhope won last night, they shut out Selma. That team's gotten nothing but better since they've made the trip to the Sportsplex a few weeks ago.
They definitely have. And, you know, some teams out there have already played all of their region games outside of one and will take a break in one of these last 3 weeks. So there's a pretty good idea where you're going to end up. There are some big games left, Brett, but you know which regions you're matching up with. When you have a good football team, this is a fun time of the year for me because fans get to look and see the region they're matching up, make a decision on whether they're going to travel, because a lot of times you'll know if you've got a long travel or a short travel and where you're going to go throughout the state. So I've always enjoyed this time of year, and it's nice to have a good football team to discuss whenever you're in this part of the season.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, right now, I guess we'll start with Benjamin Russell on Thursday night. Another close loss. Not able to, the reoccurring theme here basically in this season and last season is getting in a big hole. You get in a big hole in the first half, and you get down 27-7 to a good football team, or 27-10 actually is what the score was. You get down that, you just really are fighting an uphill battle the rest of the game. You're trying to, and especially in high school football. Now I know the clocks are different and all that, but if you got a team that can run the ball and you got a team that can control the clock, you get down 2 or 3 scores. It's hard to come back because your defense, so much pressure is put on them to try to play perfect. And we gave up some big plays again in the secondary, and we've been susceptible to that the last couple of seasons, especially this year. If you look back to the Central Clay game, you look at how that game started out. You look at Selma, where we gave up 28 points but weren't able to get any offense going. You know, we hit a stretch right there in the middle of the season where we found something, where we were a little bit physical and decided to go with maybe more of a wildcat look in the formation. You bring an extra blocker in, had some success with that. And Thursday night in the second half, went to a wishbone formation, lined up to what you said in the first quarter is a Wetumpka defense that is not even comparable to what we've seen over the past 3 or 4 years, and that's the truth. And we had them outmatched up front, but I think it was a little bit too late. I think we got going a little bit too late. We gave up too many points in the first half. We had a bad call go against us. Let's just be honest about it. We've seen the tape. We've gone back and looked at it. Elijah Spivey got across. His headgear never hit the other guy's headgear. His forearm did. Now, from the angle of the official, I could probably see where you would think that the headgear would go there. But it was an unfortunate break for us at home. And if Brett Pitt's touchdown counts, it's 27-24. Campbell Woods was able to kick a field goal and make it 27-20, so we did get back within 1 score. But nevertheless, it kind of sucked the momentum out, and Wetumpka was able to make one more play with Taekwon Rawls being able to throw the ball down the field, and they ended up winning the game 33-20.
You know, I'll start with Wetumpka here since this is not just a local program, but I'll start and then I'll move over and I'll give my complete take on us as Brett and I are the broadcast team. For those of you that are tuning in throughout the state, we're the broadcast team for Benjamin Russell, so we're both Benjamin Russell graduates and very loyal to the program, and so that's when you hear us talking about that in opening segments. That's the reason that you're hearing us do that. The 2 of the last 3 years that we played Wetumpka, they've had the best football player on the field, Brett, and that's made a huge difference. You know, I think back to 2017, we played a great football game for a region championship against Wetumpka, and I thought we played extremely well. Unfortunately, Cavassier Smoke was their running back that night, and as the game progressed and got later on into the game, he just kept hitting the edge on us. We couldn't seem to contain him, and I don't know what he ended up with, but I think it was about 160 yards. Is that what your memory was?
It was over.
He had a great night against us. And, you know, I thought Friday night was a lot of the same. Taekwon Rawls ends up with 4 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown rushing, and had two interceptions on the defensive side of the ball. That's 7 massive plays. Any old coach I ever had said there's going to be 5 big plays in the game. If you win more than they do on those 5 big plays that determine a game, and this is in a game where you match up well with one another, whoever wins those 5 big plays is going to win it. Taekwon Rawls had 7. He had 7 massive plays. And is he going to Kentucky? Is that the story out there?
I mean, it seems to be leaning there. I think.
Has he got any other offers?
I think early LSU was on him, but I
Gotcha.
think they pulled off. And
he's going to play safety in college? Is that the talk?
Projects to be a defensive back somewhere.
6'2", 205, plenty of size,
Yep.
throws the ball. You know, he's not a pinpoint accurate quarterback, but he has plenty of arm strength to get the ball anywhere on the field that he chooses to. That type of athlete. Where he killed us Friday night is extending plays. You know, once we could not get him down and he extended the play 5 or 6 seconds, our secondary completely broke down and he made one big play after another. It wasn't necessarily those set plays where it's 3 steps back, post pattern. I'm either in 2s and I've got corner help over here and I got to figure out how to cover that. Necessarily wasn't that. That play'd be covered. Then he'd break containment and guy'd go downfield and we'd have one-on-one matchup. They're great athletes, make a big play on it. And that's what a versatile high school quarterback that can flat move around. We've had a lot of them around here. Probably the best one I can remember that we ever had around here was Casey Cutts. Would just extend the play, and the next thing that you know, he's found somebody open down there.
Yep.
Couldn't get him tackled.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter how many great ends you've got, what kind of blitz packages you get. Some guys are impossible to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and I know that you'd agree with me on that. I don't hardly remember any time where it felt like one guy got that guy down.
No, and those are a special breed of guys. And you know, Taekwon Rawls 2 years ago asked to move over to quarterback. He was a wide receiver and DB, and that's kind of where his love is. And but you know, in high school football, you get asked a lot of times by your head coach to take over at quarterback because you're the best athlete on the team. So that's what he's been able to do, and it's proved successful for Wetumpka. They haven't had the season that they've been used to the last 2 years, but they were able to solidify a playoff berth. Again, we'll close out here. Again, as you mentioned, with us being the local broadcast team, tough for our senior class. It's a good senior class with this football program that's not going to be making postseason. I'll just tip my hat to some of these seniors and what they've been able to do. Brett Pitts is amazing. It's what he's been. You know, I've been calling football for over 20 years now, and he's the epitome of what you want in a high school football player or college football player. I don't care what level it is. Guy lays his guts on the line for you every play. He'll play every position if that's what's needed of him. He just goes out there and gets it done. And talking about a guy that is a power runner, he's not the biggest guy, but you give him the ball on a short yardage situation. There was one time in that game, I think it was 3rd down and 2 or maybe or whatever, and he got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he drove 2 guys back and got a 1st down. So, you know, not all has been a disappointment. It sure has been fun watching this year a lot of these seniors that'll be moving on that we won't have next year, but they've been outstanding football
I got a
players.
couple of minutes, so I want to stay on the positive, no need in jumping into any negative here. I want to talk about 4 of our seniors as well. I know what a difference 1 year can make between your junior and senior year. Unless the good Lord looked down upon you and pointed and said, I'm about to make you a good-looking, strong, physical athlete when you're 15 or 16 years old, the rest of us have to work really hard at it. Really, really hard at it. So I'm going to brag on 4 kids that we have that are seniors that have gotten so much better as football players between their junior and senior year. And this is not a knock on them as juniors. They were pretty good ball players. They weren't great ball players. And all 4 of them, I think, are great ball players right now. I'm going to start with one on the defensive side of the ball, Ty Brown. Ty was a pretty good ball player last year. A lot of times I didn't think Ty liked to mix it up too much. I'll be honest about it. He has done nothing but work out, put on weight, and that cat plays hard every snap of the football. Takes on blocks against bigger men, makes play after play on special teams. Great player. 2, Denzel Green. Denzel hasn't tapped his way out of a ball game that I've seen this year. Phenomenal. And he could play both sides of the ball. I think he got his first scholarship offer. Runs really well, tackles extremely well from the secondary. Maybe our best tackler on the team in the open field. Denzel Green special. Zay Hunter. Zay's rushing for an average of 150 yards a game. I've never seen that in Zay. I've seen a pretty good ball player, but I've also not seen someone that just says, give me the ball and I'm about to put everybody on my back and I can do something with it. Night in and night out, he puts on a show. He had 170 against Opelika. You don't just go to Opelika and get a 170. That don't happen. Yep. Many years, I can't remember many years we played them where we had 170 yards rushing.
Yep.
That's honest. I can't remember in some good years 170 yards rushing against Opelika. And I'll say the same with you on Brett. Brett has got nothing but better since he's been here, and you can tell his body style's changed. There's been a lot of work that's gone into that, and I tip my hat to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Up against our first break. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota. We'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost.
Hashtag customer service.
So come on by and let us show you
the Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. New Kias at 0% APR financing and no payments for 90 days.
Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Welcome back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Glad all of you joined us out there, wherever it is that you might be watching us and listening to us. You look at us on Facebook, comment away. We got some comments that have come in already, and Mark said, we'll just start there. Mark said it's been a tough season for Ben Russell, weird year. Some good at times, some really good performances. Just some mistakes and some bad timing on some plays, and I definitely will side with that. Mark also said, we'll fail to name some, but he agrees with you, Zay, Ty, Brett, examples of good things about Benjamin Russell. Also Denzel. So, yeah, to go along with what we talked about there, every high school's got great players, but did want to say something about that group because they're not going to be going to the playoffs this year, and they are a special group. I mean, it's really, really talented players on that team, and they've got a couple more football games left, and then they'll move on, and I'm sure they'll be successful, whatever it is that they choose to do moving forward.
Let's start running down some scores out there. There were some great ones. I'll start in Class 7A, Brett, and I'll start with a game right here off the top before I run down the other scores that was a thriller in closing. Hopefully you've seen the tweets out there. But Mountain Brook taking on Hewitt-Trussville last night. A very low-scoring football game, a good old 80s, 90s, 70s for that matter, battle where you kept it close. Neither team scoring all that much. Mountain Brook scoring late, going for 2. End up winning the football game 11-10. You want to explain the play that happened? Can you do it better than me? I don't know.
I saw the ball snap back there, and it rolled around, and guy went back there and picked it up and just basically threw it up as a prayer.
Kind of back across the field into the center.
Yeah.
Like at there's 50-yard wide field, 25 yards in, dead in the center, 1 yard into the end zone. He had a guy sitting down. He's rolled out to the left, throws back across his body, and just puts it in the air. And there are literally 5 Hewitt-Trussville defenders around. But the ball, no Hewitt-Trussville defender didn't get his hand up. The ball's just, it's like a miracle.
Yeah.
The ball couldn't be defended. Goes straight into what looked like to be a little small slot receiver.
Yeah.
Standing in the middle and just
Amazing.
falls into the end zone.
It's crazy. It was a very, very fortunate play for Mountain Brook, and not a fortunate ending for Hewitt-Trussville as that game ends 11-10. So I looked at that score first, and I was like, man, what in the world? And then you go back and you see on Twitter that video from the end zones. I don't really know what happened on the play. It looked like it was a clean snap, and then all of a sudden the ball was rolling backwards. So it's just crazy in football. We saw Dable do that not too many years ago in a playoff game. Roll around, ball just Hail Mary into the end zone, and they caught it, and they moved on. It's just crazy how football ends up like that.
Alma Bryant takes down Baker last night, 26-13. It's Auburn over Smith Station, 35-13. Austin defeats Huntsville, 45-16. Florence, 24, Gadsden City, 10. Good football game in that Hoover area. Always seems to be every year, Brett. Hoover, 42, Spain Park, 35.
And it just seems like Spain Park can't ever be on the winning side of it. That's the tough pill to swallow for Spain Park. And, years ago, those two teams split, or Hoover split and created Spain Park. And, it's been big brother, little brother since then. And Spain Park's had some really good football teams, and they've been to a state championship game and played in it. But just a tough loss there for a good Spain Park team.
James Clemens, 63-0 over Grissom. McGill-Tulane continues to win, taking down Theodore 17-6. Murphy 13, Davidson 7. Oak Mountain 53, Tuscaloosa County 32. Prattville all over Jeff Davis on Thursday night, 44-7. There's a program to talk about, Brett. They were 1-9 a couple of years ago. Caleb Ross has this thing turned. Are they state championship caliber just yet? I question that, but they're coming. And we've seen that program and that community, when they can get something to ride behind, they'll ride that wave out, won't they?
A big win for them a couple of weeks ago against Robert E. Lee. I think that kind of opened everybody's eyes on what type of program they have now, where they're moving to.
Sparkman defeats Bob Jones 27-14, and another big victory for Thompson over Vestavia, 35-21. It's a good Vestavia team. Thompson, what they're building up there, Brett, it's something to watch. It's something that I don't know any of us really thought that they would have gotten it to this point this quick.
Yeah, I think it's built. I mean, I don't think it's building anymore. I think it's built.
Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hey guys, it's Luke. How's it going?
Good, Luke. How are you, my friend?
If you need me to call back later and talk some Alabama stuff, I can, but I can't not call in about this Mountain Brook play, which I've watched from like
Alabama football is it's a little bit more important of a day for Alabama football than what we'll see with Auburn today. A little different than we had this past Saturday, okay? They're on the phone with us.
Yeah, and we'll get back into some high school scores here in just a minute coming up on our next break on the program. If you get a call, you got something you'd like to add to the program, give us a call, 256-234-6221. That's the number, or you can comment away on Facebook out there, and that's where a lot of you out there join us each and every time we're on the air. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-980-7190.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup features the Jacksonville Eagles versus the White Plains Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of the AHSAA Super 7, from Jordan Hare.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Cater your tailgate and game day parties with Chicken Salad Chick. All the Chick favorites like Buffalo Barkley, Kickin' Kaylin, and Sassy Scotty make the perfect dips and sandwich platters. Chicken Salad Chick is always a great choice when planning for a crowd. Our grab-and-go quick chicks make it easy. And now for a limited time, Rockin' Rita is back. Made with Wickles spicy red relish, this flavor has a kick of spice. Chicken Salad Chick and fall football, the perfect matchup.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Morris & Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City are proud members of our community. Our team of dedicated employees live, work, and support in our local communities, and we are all actively engaged in our hometowns. Just like all area players, parents, and coaches, we are committed to the betterment of our local area and want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this fall. The Morris & Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City, a proud supporter of all area athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here, about halfway through the first hour, and we're running down some high school stuff. 256-234-6221 is the number to be part of the program. You can also find us on Facebook Live. That's where you can tune us in there. A lot of you watch us out there on TV and tune us in all throughout the state on the Alabama Cable Network. Yeah, we'll shift over. We did go down 7A, and let's go over to 6A.
What's your
now.
favorite classification, Brett? When you're going and calling games, what classification do you go, gosh, I don't know what I'm going to get out of that one?
I mean, a lot of times it's 6A.
Think so?
4A's been notoriously good over the years since we've been doing it.
Yeah.
There's been some really good some good teams, some good parity in 4A.
You know, I think 5A's got good parity right now too.
It does. It's top heavy. I think there's a lot of teams up there at the top. The Jaspers, the Etowahs, the Central Clays. On any given night, those guys can mix it up.
But those guys are in the same region, a lot of them.
Oh, I know they are.
And that makes it, Brett, you and I have been doing this a long time. When you have regions that have 4 or 5 deep that can win it and not the same team wins it all the time, it sure does make going into every week fun. It's kind of like that old college football adage in comparison to some other sports. Every week's important.
Yeah.
Every week is just not some coach giving you coach speak to get you up. It's really important. The city of Birmingham's, Shelby County area, they've been that way for quite some time. If you don't take every week seriously there, you won't even make the playoffs.
That's right.
So, but let's run down some scores from Class 6A. Again, if you have been out there and seen some of these games, please call in, 256-234-6221. Albertville over Lee Huntsville, 49-28. Athens playing well, 55-6 over Columbia. Blunt, 39, Gulf Shores 0. Clay Chalkville, 49-0 over Pell City. Daphne back on their winning ways, Brett, 55-14 over Robertsdale. Here's a team that when they get things rolling and the amount of athletes that they can get through that program, we watch them in basketball too. Eufaula, 48-0 over Russell County. They got a good football team this year.
They do. They put up a lot of points. And, you know, Russell County hasn't been much of a power in football in a long time. And
one loss for Eufaula this year, is that about?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Need to go back and look. It seems like most weeks I'm looking down, they're winning by scores like this.
A lot of points on the board. It's going to have to outscore them.
And Eufaula, Brett and I were looking at enrollment numbers. Just this is a random off the subject topic, but we were looking at enrollment numbers on Friday before our game. Eufaula's a big school. They're in the top 10 schools in Class 6A in enrollment.
I didn't realize that.
And I did not either. That was kind of a shock to me. Hartsville 49-7 over Decatur. Fort Payne, big win for them over Buckhorn in overtime, 36-35. I think that was a region championship on the line there, so a big win by Fort Payne. Homewood wins a close one against Chelsea last night, 27-26. Hueytown 56-7 over Bessemer City. It's May Jemison 42-21 over Hazel Green. McAdory 21-14 over Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. A down year for Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. I can't remember the last one of those I've seen.
Yeah, and a big win for McAdory, who Bart Sessions, the coach now over there, had moved on from Gadsden City, where not a cut, but I'm sure he's glad to move on, because if you look at Gadsden City, and I don't know what the problem is up there. They haven't been winning in about 3 years, and they've been on the bad end of some lopsided losses. And Florence beat them this past week. It was close. It's 24-10, but that's one of the closer ones for them. But that's a big win for Bart Sessions and McAdory.
Hueytown 56-7 over Bessemer City. That's a team to watch in the playoffs. Got the best back in the state, Brett.
That's right. And, you know, those two teams in the same region, right there at the top, Bessemer City's got Andrew Zal now as the head coach. They've made tremendous strides, but for Hueytown to beat them down with the type of defense that Bessemer City has, that's eye-opening there. And they do have a tremendous back that's going to Alabama. It'll be interesting to see how they play out the rest of the way.
Muscle Shoals strong, 45-0 over Coleman last night. Opelika takes down Calera 41-0. It's Oxford over Shades Valley, 38-20.
A little shocked at that score a little bit. I mean, Oxford's given up some points here. They're one of the ones that's projected out of the top in 6A, the north side, but you're giving up. Now, Shades Valley's taken their lumps here the last few weeks, and they've been shut out by some good teams. And to give up 20, I don't know how that game went. I don't know if they were up 38-0 and put some players in, but anyway, you're going to have to play better defense in the playoffs.
Pelham takes down Jackson Olin 38-7. It's Pinson Valley over Huffman 42-12. Saraland with a big win last night, 28-20 over St. Paul's. Sidney Lanier 14-13 over Carver. Spanish Fort back on the winning side over Baldwin County 37-7. Stanhope, another win, 7-1 now on the season for Stanhope, 24-0 over Selma. And as we mentioned in the first segment, Wetumpka 33, Benjamin Russell 20. I'll let you run down some that kind of jump out at you in Class 5A and moving down, Brett?
Yeah, Bibb County, first of all, is a good football team. Chilton County got a great quarterback. They were making some strides there early to mid part of the season, but they took another one on the chin last night and lost 42-6. Briarwood gets in scoring battles with people. They defeat Parker 38-28. This was a big win for Central Clay to get back on the winning side of things after dropping 2 in a row. They put 65 on the board. A little frustration, I think, probably there more than anything from Central Clay being released as they beat St. Clair County 65-0. Moving on down, Etowah beat Douglas 35-0. No problem there. It's a good football team. And Etowah, that was number 1 in the state last year, kind of got taken to the woodshed by Central Clay. I know they're trying to look back at some maybe a little bit of redemption coming up in the playoffs this year. Jasper 42-20 over Lawrence County. That's the number 1 team in 5A. They appear to be all of the number 1 team. As you go to Central Clay, who's the defending state champs a couple weeks ago, and you win one on the road in overtime. Central Clay decided to go for 2. I like the call. It's out of region game. They decided to go for it. No harm, no foul there. Just a good football game. That was a statewide televised game. Mortimer Jordan, 36-14 over Munford. They're a team you're going to have to watch coming down the stretch. Ramsey continues to get better. They put up a lot of points every week. They beat Winona 42-12. Big win for Sylacauga last night in region. Center Point's a good football team. That's a tough region. Sylacauga, Center Point,
You're right, Brett.
Mortimer Jordan, and Central Clay. That's a tough one there in 5A. Sylacauga wins 17-6 in the defensive game. Locally here, Tallahassee gets on the winning side of things. They haven't had the year that they really were hoping for. They win 21-6.
I see this Demopolis down here at the bottom where
Very
that game
tough.
was postponed. That's a tough story out of the city of Demopolis where they had 2 high school students drown yesterday. So our thoughts and prayers go out to that community on the news of that story right there. It's, crazy things happen, Brett. Sometimes you just wake up and you thank the good Lord that crazy things stay away.
Yeah.
And, but when you get news like this, you go, how, why, what happens, and it's life.
It is, and we feel for them. An opponent of ours here locally a few weeks ago. A team,
impressive program. Always had a winning program over there.
Very good program, classy program. Tough break for them. They will play today against Tuscaloosa.
Let me throw one more thing out there.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Mortimer Jordan High School graduate Devlin Hodges as well. Hodges goes to Sanford, puts up massive numbers at Sanford, almost takes down FSU, if you remember last year,
yeah.
and just a massive aerial attack that he put on. Already a starter at Pittsburgh, and has a lot of people for the Steelers excited about the future for him. So Mortimer Jordan graduate.
You never know when
your number's going to get called, but if you're as talented
Yeah.
as that young man is, he's maybe not a young man anymore. If you're as talented as that man is, that's something I'm sure that community is excited about.
But definitely hang your hat on that. Up against our next break, stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world. Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. The days are long, but the nights are hot at Copper's Grill at Stillwater's with local live entertainment Friday and Saturday night and a surprisingly delicious weekend special from the head chef that'll make you come back for more. Come by boat or by land to Copper's Grill at Stillwater's. Casual dining at its best.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. A couple segments left here in the first hour.
Let's hit some of those local scores in 4A down to 1A, Brett. I know Reeltown had one, a runaway last night as they take down Central Coosa 58-0. That's hard to look at that score. It was pretty much most of that there in the first half. But I'll go back to that big win for Reeltown against Maplesville. I'll be the first to say, you know, what I do a lot of times because I don't get to see a lot of the teams out there. I go to look at the records. I look at previous year scores. I also try to determine on who's playing each other home or away.
Yeah.
And the way they beat Maplesville, I would have never saw that one coming.
Yeah,
they may win this thing.
That
this
was
year.
kind of a statement win for
Yes,
them.
sir.
They got beat pretty good last year at home by Maplesville.
Mhm.
Maplesville's good, still a good football team, and they go on the road, and the way they do that, they had a big win last night, obviously over Central Coosa 58-0. But Eric Shaw is probably the mainstay there for that team as he's committed to South Carolina. Don't know if he'll end up signing with South Carolina or not. Some other teams really starting to get heavy on him for good reason, and we'll kind of play that one out as the weeks go on and kind of see how he finishes up. But he was not healthy last year. He didn't get to play for Reeltown because of a knee injury. But he's back and he's healthy this year. Makes a difference.
Vincent takes down Horseshoe Bend last night 42-24, but if you're a Generals fan out there and you look at that 24-point total, you know, that's something to build on. They're getting better offensively. I think, you know, Coach Phillips is getting this team where they're maybe buying into what he's preaching and playing a little bit more physical, which is a must when you're running that wishbone attack that he's implemented over there at Horseshoe Bend. But, you know, if I'm a Horseshoe Bend fan, I look down and we scored 24. I know we lost. I still take that as a strong
yeah,
positive.
I mean, you just gotta look at the positives and where you were and where you are now. And they've definitely made some strides. One that stood out to me was Hopeville beating Leeds 35-7.
Wow.
Hopeville's a lot better than what they were 3 years ago, obviously, and what they built up. But I don't know what's happened to Leeds. They have not been the program over the last couple of years that we were used to watching year in and year out, going to state championship games. You know, the Keith Etheridge led Leeds Green Wave. They have deteriorated. They've gone in the other direction. Hopeville's gone in the other direction. Hopeville's gone light years ahead of where they were over the last 10 to 15 years.
I don't know that the rest of the state truly understands how great a job Jason Franklin has done, but us around here see this. We're not blind. I know what Hopeville was. They were bad.
Yeah.
They were like 2 wins in 3 or 4 years bad.
They were.
And this is a program that has never really traditionally put a very good winner out there. They've had ups and down years. You know, they've had a few years of up, but a lot more down years. This is a consistent winner that he's doing, what he's doing over there. And he had a very solid team at Horseshoe Bend. That doesn't just happen.
No.
That doesn't, you don't just roll in somewhere that's 2-40 in the last, or 2-38 in the last 4 years, and then all of a sudden you start winning football games 7-8 every year. He is a darn good coach, a really good coach, and I think more people in the state are probably recognizing it, but that's kind of our job up here, is to talk a little bit about that and let people recognize what we see.
Exactly, and another team like that you know, you used to hear a lot about that you just don't hear that much about anymore is Thomasville. T.R. Miller beats them 24-17 in kind of a rival game down there in southwest Alabama, but Thomasville was won year in and year out in 3A and 4A, depending on where they were, that you expected to be deep in the playoffs. And, you know, they knocked off Dable back during that run with Kyle Caldwell at Dable High School, where they went on and won a state championship that year. And just hadn't heard from them. You know, look, it happens in high school football. You have names and communities that are predominantly great programs, and then you hit down cycles. And you don't really have any control over it because you're dealt the hand that you're dealt. And so you got to figure out a way to persevere and stay strong during those years and get your program back to where you know you can be. And, you know, the Wildcats are doing the same thing right here in Alex City. This is not the season that anybody wanted or expected. There were some high expectations around this team this year, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. So you got to figure out ways to fight through it, come up with ways to get your numbers up, get some kids out of the halls and get them. And we've had this discussion. It's not just about Benjamin Russell. It's about every school. Every school's got those kids. And look, if you don't want to play, that's fine. There's nobody forcing you to. But there's some that need to be playing the game to help your school win. And we've got some here that we know that if they come out, they'd be a tremendous help, because you go from 63, 64 kids to 84, and you bring out 20 that can make a difference. That's different than just filling the sidelines.
I'll spin it in a little different way. There are some communities out there that are giving up, in certain classes, 400 to 500 students in enrollment to other schools that they're playing. I'll give a good for instance here. Opelika is right at 1,000 students in the top 3. They're knocking on the door of Class 7A. They're 80, 100 students away. They're not really close. They're like the 8th largest school in Class 6A.
But that's knocking. That's right.
It's somewhat knocking, but they've got to grow quite a bit. That's neither here nor there. Benjamin Russell's on the opposite end. We're sitting there at 650, but the last number I had was 612. So what are you saying, Randy? Well, what I'm saying is I don't like to just roll over and die and get beat by them every year and just say, this year is fun. I get to go over here and watch us get our brains beat in by Opelika again. Not any fun. So how do you fix it? I don't know. I'll tell you how you don't fix it. Don't change anything. Don't do anything any different.
That's true.
So what do you have to do when you have 400 students less in enrollment, which is 200 boys on average, which is 80 boys on average, 70 to 80 boys on average in each class? You got to figure out how you can get 15 more out in each class than the other school percentage-wise.
That's right.
If you want to compete,
you've got to have them out.
If you want to compete athlete to athletes, you have to think out of the box. And so, look, I don't want somebody out there that don't want to be out there.
No.
You can't win that way.
But
you have to sell it and market it to where somebody does want to be out there.
That's it. That's kind of I think that's where you were going with all of that, is that you have to be a salesperson in that position.
In 2019, you can say, I hate that. I'm not going to do it. That's not how I was raised. I'm a Bear Bryant fan. Not what we do. We're just all hard-nosed. The Bear's up there in his tower. He's looking down. Everybody's bleeding everywhere. Everybody's on the ground drinking water out of a puddle. It don't work that way anymore.
No.
You keep sticking your head in the sand, you're going to keep getting your brains beat in.
That's right.
So you have to change, and some of these.
You have to adapt.
And I'll point to a couple of programs that do it better than anyone else. One, wherever the heck Jamie DuBose is.
Yeah.
Just wherever the heck he is, that's what they do. They market. They do a tremendous job. They go from having 65 to 75 players on the field to now they got 150 at Phoenix City.
Makes everybody like they just rabid dogs, have to be out there, have to be part of the program, have to be involved, or you feel like you're alienated.
That's right.
I mean, it's just, if you're not part of this program in some form or fashion, if you ain't a cheerleader, if you ain't on the dance team, if you ain't in the band, if you ain't playing football, then what are you doing?
And I know we're going about a minute over here, but I'm going to go on a minute over here. You go to their social media outlet yesterday. This is a game. You know, they're in there in their indoor facility.
Yeah.
They're having a lineman dance off. There's music, and there's nothing but a circle of players in Phoenix City with Coach DuBose standing in there with them, by the way, are having a lineman dance off in there. And you say, well, man, we didn't do that where I grew up. We didn't even drink water at practice. We didn't do. Good gosh, have mercy.
Well, it's fun.
Just lose.
You got to make it fun. I mean,
yes.
You have to make it something that the kids enjoy doing. And yeah, there's tough times. There's times to put your nose to the grind. But
this is a state champion.
There's a lot of downtime in any organization, anything that you got to fill with something other than dead air.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you have to do. So up against the break. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. New Kias at 0% APR financing and no payments for 90 days. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to goreesfurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Atlanta's hottest music event is here. ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Friday, November 15th. Don't miss Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, Sam Hunt, Sugarland, Judah the Lion, and Kale Dove. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Final segment here in the first hour, close out high school football. We're just a few weeks away from heading back to Jordan-Hare Stadium for the Super 7, and you ask, why are we going back to Auburn? They're going to be doing some more renovation to Bryant-Denny Stadiums and taking some seats out this time. It's crazy. They just put seats in, now they're taking seats out, renovating stuff, putting more of a plaza look up there on the top. So the city and the university asked if Auburn could host. This will be the first time I can remember that the host school has the Iron Bowl, and then you got to turn around the next week and play the Super 7. That's going to be a quick turnaround for Auburn University, having the Iron Bowl on one Saturday and then start playing on Wednesday the Super 7. So,
well, there's one thing that we do exceptionally well, and that's keep that field in top-notch condition. Some programs just do a great job of it, and others struggle with it. And I'm sure that it has nothing to do with the need and the want. A lot of times it's just the way that the stadiums are built, and how much sunlight you can get, and changing up, whatever's going on underneath. Look, I'm no horticulturist, so I can't give you all that. But Auburn's got a beautiful turf. Got a beautiful stadium, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's going to look beautiful on Iron Bowl too, no matter if they do play there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of why that game's going back to, or those games are going back. So if you've never been to a Super 7, man, you need to go. I mean, I don't know what you've been doing. I know you may have a certain team out there you follow, and then a lot of people, when their team goes out, they cut But like the old days with a tube, old TV, you just cut the tube off. High school football, all the way throughout the end, whether your team makes it or not, if you've never been to that state championship environment, it's fun. It's just a great experience. Make sure you take it in. It's just Alabama and Auburn, both campuses do a tremendous job. So glad to see that several years ago moved to those two venues.
Volleyball coming down the stretch as well, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
Not a sport that I think gets attended any better when it gets into state championship and regional runs than volleyball. So that will be one that we start talking about as they get towards the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And cross country is getting down towards the end also. And cross country is perfect this time of year when you get into weather that we're going to start having. Is it today?
Yeah, and then actually some rain. I thought I hit my head on something.
Have you had any at your house?
None, but you're going to get some Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week.
I haven't gotten rain at my house, I think, since the 1st of September.
I think we've had a sporadic
We've had
shower,
a little in Elliott City.
A sporadic shower here and there, but
nothing in Windermere, Alabama.
Nothing to come to talk about. Nothing to write home about.
Rain is so bad that I have seen rain on 63 2 or 3 different times in the last 2 months. And I've seen rain halfway into Windermere Road, down even to close to the ridge, where you turn off to the ridge, and the ground's still wet. I hadn't
it just cuts off. There's a wall.
Zero.
There's a wall there. So anyway, I think everybody's going to be welcoming some rainfall. I can't remember a season. I've remembered high school seasons where it rained every Friday and everybody had mold on you.
Cold.
They just see it's mold, and you're like, man, is it ever going to stop raining? This year has been opposite. There's been no rain. It's dust, everything. The field crew here in Alex City has done a tremendous job. Brian Riddle and Sonny Wilson and the whole crew out there putting water on that field 4 and 5 times a day to keep that thing green. Because if they hadn't been burned up, it'd been dust. I mean, there would have been nothing left. So that's what a lot of people have been dealing with. So just shows you. For all you alarmists out there with the environment, you do go in cycles. There are some years you want it to quit raining. You think everything's going to wash away, and then some years you don't get any. So it's just part of it. It's going to close it out for high school football here. We're about to head into some college football. Alabama on tap today. They play Texas A&M in College Station. Auburn with a week off, a much-needed week off. We'll dive into both of those schools. The SEC, a big one in Death Valley today, LSU and Florida. Florida takes their undefeated record into Death Valley.
Why do they hate each other so bad?
Florida and LSU?
Yeah.
I just think it's inherent in this conference. If you're semi-good, you hate each other.
Gotcha.
I mean, Auburn and LSU hate each other.
Do they have similar fan bases, though?
I think if Georgia and LSU, when Georgia lost down there, was it last year or year before? Jake Fromm in Baton Rouge. Them two schools hate each other.
You think Florida and LSU have similar fan bases?
Pretty close. I'll say this about Gainesville, and I've been to the Swamp a couple times, just been on campus, not into a game. Saturday was my first time in the Swamp during a football game. I didn't have a problem with a single fan. Now, I know that everybody's story is different. If you sit in the wrong, it depends on where you're sitting and who you're sitting by. But the Florida guys behind me we carried on conversation the whole game. We pulled for our teams. When their team made a play, they screamed and yelled and said some things. When Auburn made a play, I screamed and yelled and said some things. But after the play was over, we were back talking and conversating and stuff. And I did have one mild disagreement with a guy behind me, but he started it. So, but he apologized. He apologized. So I won't get into it. But he thought something was targeted and it wasn't. And he was pretty much ready to bet his mortgage.
Wrong.
He was wrong. He was pretty much ready to bet his mortgage that we were about to have an ejection. And all I did after the referee came out there and said that we didn't have targeting and we wouldn't be charged with timeout.
I'm looking at you, Kim.
The next 10 plays, I called for targeting on every tackle. And the guy finally tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, man, I get it now.
Yeah, he understands.
I understand where you're going with it. I said, I told him, I can keep going if you want me to.
This is how it goes. Kim's at home laughing right now if she's watching.
Yeah, I said, I can keep going if you'd like me to.
I'm expecting actually a text any second here now.
So, well.
We've both been there. I've been there a whole bunch of times.
But I decided since,
I just say, please. Would the good Lord reach down and shut that mouth up for 1 minute, please?
He realized that it wasn't worth it. So we ended up having a good time. But I will say this about the Swamp. Very nice. The people were nice.
Was it raucous?
It was the loudest venue I've been to.
Is that right?
It was very, very loud. So I give credit. They did their job. The fans did their job to rattle Bo Nix, and it worked. So he'll learn from that. He'll only get better from that, and he'll know what to expect. And I think Gus Malzahn, hopefully, he's been learning for about 6-7 years now. Hopefully he'll keep learning. Up against the top of the hour break. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
An important message from Jacoby and Myers. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma and lung cancer. During the past 4 decades, $18 billion has been awarded to individuals with qualifying injuries. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed in the last 4 years with asbestos-related lung cancer or mesothelioma, call today.
Call 800-848-0074.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup features the Jacksonville Eagles versus the White Plains Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of the AHSAA Super 7, from Jordan Hare.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction. basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Hondas are the best vehicles on the road, so why not get the state's best prices and incentives? Lynn Gannum and Freeway Honda deliver, and it's always worth the drive. Tell them, Lynn.
We have the best deals. We have statewide specials. That's right. Pick out your car choice, send us a message. We'll prepare the deal. We'll bring it to your residence. Do not worry. We are #1 with deliveries in the state of Alabama. We will handle the paperwork and everything.
Shop Freeway Honda, I-20 West in Birmingham, or freewayhondaal.com for the state's best prices on new Hondas.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Second hour started, and I'll read some comments off here that we've had on Facebook Live. Patrick said he wants to know what are some of the things we want to see happen in the second half of the season, the college football season. Trash, he said, Trask is going to have his freshman moment against LSU today. I called that on Gary's show yesterday. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Justice said, Brett, I did something similar to LSU Auburn basketball game last year. I know I embarrassed Andy and his brother. Hey, look, it happens. Hey, I get it. And sometimes you just can't take it.
Sometimes some people it happens a lot more than others.
I don't care if I'm in enemy territory. If I got somebody behind me that decides that they're going to try to scream in my ear and tell me that they're right, I'm going to have something to say to them. So they'll learn real quick that they need to shut up or I'm going to be there the whole game. And so it just is what it is.
You know, that's another good reason that I think a lot of people choose to stay at home on their 70-inch TV and just sit there in their glorious, humble abode and not have to get into a fight with anybody. Because
deal with it.
Joe Blow Public behind you says.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. You know, I was sitting there, and I'll give this little quick story. And he's an older guy. And, you know, and look, you can ask anybody sitting around.
Just stay with this a second.
Yeah, you can.
Give me some bad stories out there.
Well, you can sit, you know, you can ask anybody that was sitting there. You know, he got all irate because Auburn, we hit the guy in the head when he was running the ball, which he's not a defenseless guy. He's a running back, so there is no targeting there. And he lowered his head just like KJ Britt lowered his head. And they just happened to run into each other. Well, it was bloody murder targeting, and he's out. And he got so belligerent, he started shaking in my face, and I laughed at him, and which made him more belligerent, more shaking. And the guy beside him knew that he was the one that needed to calm down. And I was like, look, man, it ain't targeting. You about to find out. And I was literally saying it just like that. I wasn't screaming. It was targeting. Man, I'm telling you, man, he's gone. He's out of here, blah, blah, blah. And then the referee came out there and said it wasn't targeting, all this kind of stuff. And so I proceeded to figure out a way to get him back and not turn around and point a finger at him. I just, after every single tackle for Florida and Auburn, I said targeting. And I said it as loud as I could in the middle of the section. And everybody could hear me. I said, that's targeting. Get him out. Get them all off the field. I said, either get him out or bring the flags out. I said, I think they play flag football down here in Gainesville. And I turned around to the whole crowd and I said, is that right? Do y'all all play flag football down here? I said, we need to bring the flags out. I said, because this guy behind me thinks that every play is targeting. So for about 10 or 12 plays.
Was Kim beside you?
No, she was a section over.
Oh, she has figured this out.
But their tickets were over there.
Yes, for a reason.
All the girls were over there, and all the guys
for
were down
a reason. Yes, this was decided upon.
Exactly, and but Braden's there, and Braden kind of got into it a little bit, and
don't teach him bad
well, he's already kind of gotten a little bit of, you know. But anyway, at the end of the day, after the 10th play gone by, and the guy finally said, look, man, I get it. I said, you done? I said, I can keep this up all game if you want to. And so he finally went to shell. His buddy over there was like, hey, man, I like what you did. He needed to shut up. But, I mean, it wasn't anything belligerent. The guys beside them were like, man, would you just sit down?
When did
just please be
when
quiet?
did Kim, though, this has been about 15 or 20 years ago, where she said, that's it, Brett. I'm not putting myself through this anymore. Can you give that story? I know you know it, but, I mean, y'all had either been through a couple of different battles, but this one got to the point where she said.
Well, that was a long time ago, too. I mean, it was in the
Tell the story.
Well, I don't even remember what game it was. I mean, it was like, you know, it's just I can't help it on some of these people that sit around you and decide they want to.
So she was ready to jump in a hole.
Yeah, I mean, I think it may have been the Alabama game. I mean, I think it was.
Shocking.
Yeah, so.
I'll give mine. Here's one for me. Baseball games seem to be where I am with someone that I want to go jump in a hole. Because I won't do this a lot. But baseball games have a lot of downtime.
Well, the baseball games it's a different environment,
That's
too.
my point, which makes it worse. Because
I agree with that.
Because people get quiet, and there's a lot of downtime, and there are a lot of balls and strikes called, and close play outs, and all kinds of time where people they have nothing but time to get agitated.
Yeah.
And then to let it build up. I'm not going to say the year, and I love my brother, but when you take him on the road at a baseball game and you want someone if you want to see a competitive...
Talking about a high school game?
If you want to see
I heard him over the radio.
If you want to see a competitive spirit come out in someone, take them and they're wild already, and put them in a baseball game where they're watching something they're actually passionate about.
Yeah.
Not Joe Blow Public. It's actually a school that they played for, and throw them out there. I mean, we used to have parents of ours that watched ball game back behind the behind the fence.
Oh yeah,
just to get away from
and they needed to
just
be
to
back
get
there.
away from the people
But they
that are
needed
up
to be
here.
back there.
But that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Because after I'd sat there and listened to him,
Well, I heard him over the radio. I could hear, and it became in our text thread, you know, are y'all listening to this? Can you hear what Craig's saying? I can hear every word he's saying, and I feel like I'm at the game, and you could hear everything he was saying.
And he's having a big time. He's having big time.
And you know what? He just blocked everybody out. Didn't care. He was
there to be a fan.
That's it.
And I understand it, and I can appreciate it. And actually, when you're out there playing, you do feel like you've got some support. It's not good. Yes, I can read all of the officials are quitting and things that are going on. I get it, and I understand it. And I couldn't imagine being an official. I tip my hat to every official out there that decide to do that for a living, and there's a lot of great ones. But, boy, some people just get in a competitive spirit, and you can't shut them up.
They can't.
So I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I know. It'll make you
far
crawl.
away.
It will make you crawl in a hole for sure. But you're right. I think a lot of people, and I've kind of gotten this way. I mean, I'm serious. You know, I'd just rather not be subjected to some idiot, you know, yelling and, you know, throwing stuff and being like that. And I'm like, I can just watch this at the house. I don't have to spend that money, blah, blah, blah. But I do enjoy the venue. I wouldn't trade anything in the world for us being there at the Kick Six. You'll never get that experience again.
True.
Everybody got to see it on TV, experienced the greatness. But to be in that stadium at that moment, to watch that live, you'll never get that. People go, well, why do you want to go to all the games? When you watch them at home, you 70-inch TV and all that, for that moment. That's why you go. Why do you go to the Auburn, Georgia game? Why do you go to the Auburn, Alabama game? Why do you go on the road and watch Auburn play Florida in the swamp? You know, because of that. Yeah, there's a chance you're going to lose. I knew that going down there. Florida, good football team, undefeated at home. That place has always been tough to go in to win. But I didn't make my trip around that. You know what I mean? Used to, 20 years ago, if Auburn lost, we'd turn around and come home.
We got 20 seconds, so I want to put this in there before I lost this train of thought. I went back and watched that P. Ryan run about 3 or 4 more times this week. Anybody that wants to knock that cat's nuts. That tackle he ran through.
Yeah.
And that speed he put on our butts on that right sideline.
He was playing with a different demeanor against us.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm telling you, he
had something to prove.
There was no slow going down that right sideline.
Yeah, he had something to prove. He definitely had a chip on his shoulder. Up against the break, stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma, all with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
An important message from Jacoby and Myers. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma and lung cancer. During the past 4 decades, $18 billion has been awarded to individuals with qualifying injuries. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed in the last 4 years with asbestos-related lung cancer or mesothelioma, call today.
Call 800-848-0074.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup features the Jacksonville Eagles versus the White Plains Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks for the playoffs. WOTM, the home of the AHSAA Super 7, from Jordan Hare.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Hondas are the best vehicles on the road, so why not get the state's best prices and incentives? Lynn Gannam and Freeway Honda deliver, and it's always worth the drive. Tell them, Lynn.
We have the best deals. We have statewide specials. That's right. Pick out your car choice, send us a message. We'll prepare the deal, and we'll bring it to your residence. Do not worry. We are #1 with deliveries in the state of Alabama. We will handle the paperwork and everything.
Shop Freeway Honda, I-20 West in Birmingham, or freewayhondaal.com for the state's best prices on new Hondas.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Just bear with us on maybe some of our technical stuff on social media. We're out there on Twitter and Facebook and different platforms now, and some of you have had a little bit of difficulty. We hadn't seen it on our side, but try the different venues, figure us out on some other ways.
More importantly, we want to thank all of our great outlets out there throughout the state of Alabama on charter. WOTM's part of us now, and we're part of them, and we can't thank Vincent Early and his crew enough for that. That's Charter Channel 21 in the Birmingham area. It's Charter Channel 190 up in the northern half of the state. It's 187 if you're around the Auburn and Opelika area, and Charter Channel 3 here in the Lake Martin region. Can't thank all of you enough out there for finding us. Maybe you've seen us over the years. We're about 15 years into doing programs like this, but this one's the Saturday Sports Countdown. We're here every Saturday from 7 to 9 if you're tuning in for the first time, saying, who in the world are those guys up there and what do they talk about? We talk high school sports for an hour. We are the AHSA radio network, so we provide the broadcast for the state championship games and all the all-star events here in the state. We love high school sports here in the state. And then the second hour, we talk about Auburn and Alabama football and maybe a little mixture of some other things. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Randy, I think we need to go to the phone line here.
Caller, you're on Sports Blitz.
Hey, guys. It's Luke. How's it going?
Good. Glad to have you back. Good timing, Luke. Any worries? Big game against Texas A&M today?
Well, I think this Texas A&M
Alabama football for us, as well as being key in our AHSA radio network. Luke, quick question. As I listen in mainly on Saturdays to Alabama football, doing some yard work or something, how about the running back position? Have you been happy with the play that you've gotten there? Has anyone stepped up that you're proud to say maybe this guy's got things going that we didn't expect?
It's obviously been a concern. Part of the short passing game. I mean, Alabama's slant game is so deadly. I'm fine really using the running game as sort of a keep you honest type thing instead of the other way around that it used to always be with Alabama. We'd only pass to just loosen up the defense just a little bit. Now we only run the ball to try and bring the defense up a little bit. And a short passing game is the equivalent to a good running game. And when you've got the burners and the receivers that Alabama has, there's no doubt you need to get them involved more often than not. And Najee Harris only has one rushing touchdown this year. Brian Robinson only has two. Keelan Robinson, who's third or fourth on the depth chart, has one. So, I mean, it's not like the running game is producing all of these points. But again, it's hard to be incredibly disappointed with it because they don't get the opportunities that some other teams allow their running backs to have.
Luke, I could sit here and talk about Tua. I could let you talk about these receivers, but we'd be beating a dead horse. There's not any better in the country, and I'm not sure that Alabama's had any better than they currently do outside of a player or two on both sides. So I'll move over to the defensive side and get a couple of thoughts. Defensive line play, Raekwon Davis, others there. Every year it feels like Alabama's getting a guy that is taking the next step, and then it ends up being a massive NFL get and then playing well in the NFL. Talk about the defensive line for those of us that don't watch every single play for Alabama.
It's very young. I mean, you're missing some guys that would have been on the edge. You certainly planned on Antonio Alfano, who very oddly has not even withdrawn from school yet. He's still in Tuscaloosa. He's not entered the transfer portal, none of that stuff. But nobody really knows what his story is right now. And, of course, Yabi Anoma transferred to Houston, so there's two guys gone from the line. Then you got a bunch of freshmen like B.J. Dale and Justin Eboyebe. They're playing fine. I mean, they're doing really well for true freshmen. I think 20 years ago, people would find them remarkable. Now, the way true freshmen play, they're above average and certainly trending to get better. Raekwon Davis still hadn't set the world on fire. I mean, he's been good. I mean, don't get me wrong. In any team in the SEC, I think even Auburn, who I think has the best defensive line in the SEC, I think even Auburn would find a place to start him on their offensive line by taking somebody out. I don't know who, but they take somebody else to put Raekwon on there. But you still look at him and just, I guess your eyes tell you he should be doing more by the way he looks, because he looks like the kind of guy who could knock down a skyscraper. He's just so massive. But that's going to be key today because, look, Kellen Mond, he has not progressed the way we all thought he would progress. But last year he had almost 100 yards rushing on Alabama, and in fact, I think he did have 100 yards rushing, but then sack yardage took him back behind the 100-yard mark later on in the game. So I suspect he's, they've said we're going to let him run a little more, which is direct opposite of what he did in the Auburn game. It was almost as if he was told not to run in the Auburn game. And I hope that he gets those same directions this time, because if he is able to run, it's going to cause some problems for Alabama. So I think the defensive front is key today to slowing A&M down. I have no qualms or issues with the secondary. Xavier McKinney's been awesome. He's worked his way into a first-round draft pick as a junior. Trayvon Diggs has worked his way into a first-round draft pick. Patrick Surtain is going to probably end up being all-SEC as a sophomore. So I feel like the defensive backfield is going to do their job. It's that front seven that keeps giving me some worries.
Great call, Luke. We appreciate it, buddy. Look forward to catching up with you next week, okay?
All right, have a good one.
All right, that's Luke Robinson calling in and giving us a little update on Alabama and a lot of good news that they weren't going to get from us.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Some good insight for all of our Alabama fans out there. Luke does a great job on that. We'll take another break here, and we'll come back. We'll continue these discussions and a lot more. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Scotty Fortenberry is Dadeville and the Lake Martin area's full-service Alpha agent. His office on Broadneck Street offers comprehensive life, home, auto, and boat insurance at Alpha's competitive rates. Scotty and Alpha Insurance are Alabama's #1 life insurance company for a reason. You'll always get the personal attention you and your family need. Scotty also has your commercial needs covered, so whether it's just a quote or full insurance evaluation, call Alpha agent Scotty Fortenberry at 256-825-9211.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup features the Jacksonville Eagles versus the White Plains Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of the AHSAA Super 7, from Jordan Hare.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Guys, it's back! Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the Zensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
The door's open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Foshee Swats on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Foshee Swats on Dadeville Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown here. 30 more minutes left in today's show, again, Alabama, I think a 17.5, 18-point favorite, depending on where you look at it, over Texas A&M. Really shocked. It probably ain't more than that. But A&M, I agree with Luke, just they haven't made that next step yet, in my opinion. Not to say that they won't, but I'm going to tell you, man, it's hard to make that next step in this conference. Even with the facilities they have, the money they've got in Texas A&M, you know, when you got Alabama, LSU, Auburn ahead of you already, and you're fighting to get in this division, where are you moving to? I mean, it's kind of like Alabama in baseball. You know, Alabama made significant strides in baseball this year.
Got a great recruiter.
Well, where are you going? I mean, you got Auburn, you got Texas A&M, you got Arkansas, you got Mississippi State.
You ain't even said LSU.
I ain't even got to LSU yet. I mean, where's Alabama going in baseball? I mean, that's the toughness of this thing, especially in this conference. So it's not that Texas A&M doesn't have a good football team. It's just that Alabama's got so much more of a head start on them. They're starting the marathon. Alabama's on mile 24.
I can't get over this Twitter graphic that I saw 2 weeks ago. It's because it's so relevant. It's so relevant. Alabama has 68 4 and 5 stars on their roster. 68. Here's, in comparison now, the one that's the most eye-opening is Wisconsin. Wisconsin has 9. They have 9 4 and 5 stars.
Talking about top 10 teams right
Top
now.
10 teams at the moment.
At the moment.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Auburn had 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. 39. 39. I'm guessing Texas A&M, which wasn't in the top 10, has 40.
Yeah, let's just
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they've got close to Auburn or somewhere near around
28 more, though, that Alabama got.
Good gosh.
I mean, that's a big discrepancy. And look, it's a credit to what Nick Saban and that program's done. It's where everybody's striving to get to, and that's part of the deal. You even see Clemson, at what they're doing. They're finally recruiting at that level, but they haven't recruited at that level.
No, I think that they're in the 40s. They were in the 40s.
Yeah, that's right.
They were less than Auburn.
They are finally going and getting the top 1, 2, 3 class like we expected them to, but it's taken them a long time to get to that point. Because, look, let's just be honest with it. Clemson's a great program, but geographically, they don't have a lot to pull from in-state.
Yeah.
And even though Clemson's great, they got to go out and battle some of these other schools, and they got to battle the proximity to home. They did go out to California and get a really good quarterback that'll be coming in behind Trevor Lawrence. I'm real shocked by that.
Yeah, another monster from Phoenix City heading up that way to help out too.
That's right. So they continue to get good recruits, but you look at that division in the West, it's brutal. And so we'll kind of flip over and talk a little Auburn. Since Auburn's not playing, we'll kind of go back and talk about their performance in Florida and where they're going from here. They got an off week, comes at a great time. They got to go on the road next week against Arkansas at 11 o'clock. It scares you a little bit because you don't have Boobie Whitlow now. You come off that loss. Arkansas is playing a big game today against Kentucky. Can they get their first SEC win? What will that do if they're able to get that win? That's definitely going to be an energizer for them. We saw them play Texas A&M tough. Yep. You don't take anybody lightly here. So you would think Auburn's going to be you would think Auburn's going to be a pretty big favorite in that game, but you got to go out there and you got to play. But I say all that to say this. Auburn's got 3 really tough teams left on their schedule, LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. They'll be all top 5 teams unless LSU stumbles today. They just played Florida in their place. It was 17-13 midway through the fourth quarter. Auburn's still in that game. They missed opportunities. You don't feel terrible when you go back and look at the missed opportunities. Auburn cleaned some things up. You feel good. Also, before the season, we all looked at each other and said, they'll probably split. We'll take a split between A&M and Florida with this schedule. Mm-hmm. And that's where we are. Can Auburn win 1 or 2 of these final 3 games to not be an 8-4 team is the question.
I don't know. And I know that's not the answer you want. So I'm going to lead with I don't know, and then I'm going to give a whole bunch of fanboy responses, okay? I'm not a coach. I'm here to just do what I do. I sit there at work. I talk about Auburn football. I talk about other football. I love it. So if you get upset with me and you think that I've got any more insight than you, then you just don't know very much. I don't have any more insight than anybody else out there. So here I go. I have no earthly idea how somebody's writing plays down on a notepad and Anthony Schwartz gets through a whole football game for Auburn University right now and gets one touch. I don't know how it happens. You know, whoever the heck's calling the plays or whoever's being hired to be part of the ones calling the plays should have their heads rolled if that guy doesn't touch football more than that. He changes games, man.
How do you not put the ball in your best player's hand? We talked about this off there just a minute ago. There are some coaches out there at every level, NFL all the way down to Pee Wee. They just know more about the game than somebody they're going against.
Yep.
You want to know why they're better than that guy? Because they just know more. It comes naturally to them. Okay, they know what to do in every situation. They're coaching 3 or 4 plays ahead. They know how to utilize their weapons to the best of their ability. Coaches make you scratch your head sometimes that they get caught up in a game like Gus does sometimes, and they totally forget, man, they may have the best player on the field. Why aren't you using him? Why you're handicapping yourself when you don't put the ball in the fastest guy in the country's hands. How about give him some opportunities? One time in what we call an opportunity.
Well,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
And you lean on, especially if you're a head coach, which I couldn't imagine being a head coach and a coordinator to go along with it, and having to do all of that. But you've got a whole bunch of other people hired to help you.
You know what somebody told me the other day, and I didn't want to cut you off, but going along with this, and I'll let you finish. How are so many offenses in the NFL that putrid? They get paid year-round to do nothing but study and have professionals run. And you got teams up there that can't score 10 points.
Well, I think the discrepancy in the talent's unbelievable.
It may be, but I mean,
and you know what else,
got
Brett?
some pathetic.
The discrepancy in quarterback play.
Yeah, true.
Because I don't care where you put Patrick Mahomes. I don't care which team you implement Russell Wilson.
Yeah, true.
You put Tom Brady. You just take them off them. You put him over here. You tell me if you put Patrick Mahomes down in Miami, they wouldn't move the football?
Oh, they'd move it.
So that's part of the answer.
Yeah, you're right. That's part of it. But there's
impossibly-
some that are just so putrid, though, man. Even with a decent quarterback, you're like, good Lord, man.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
go
you're
to
good.
break. I want you to come back and finish what you did. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
We're ready for back to school, even if you aren't ready. Purchase any Napa Automotive battery and receive $25 back by mail at Napa Auto Parts.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced heat and air.
With the hot summer season just around the corner, it's time to decide if your current air conditioning system will keep you cool this year. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning for a free estimate on a brand new energy-efficient Trane heat pump system for your home or business. Your comfort is our number one concern. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-234-5052.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup features the Jacksonville Eagles versus the White Plains Wildcats. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks from the playoffs. WOTM, the home of the AHSAA Super 7, from Jordan Hare.
Don't miss Atlanta's hottest music event of the year, ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Sunday, November 17th, featuring Eric Church, Luke Combs, Brothers Osborne, and Kaylee Hammond. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal. The encore performance. The first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Grab a 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for only $12.99 for a limited time at Napa Auto Parts.
Randy, I know you got to go here after this segment. Your daughter's dancing for the first time of many you'll get to enjoy.
Yep.
Trust me, I'm
Looking
telling you, there's a
forward to
lot of dancing in your future. I'm just telling you. But I want to run down a couple comments real quick, and I'm going to let you kick it back over to you. Patrick said, word is on the street, E.J. Williams on the verge of decommitting from Clemson. Patrick also said Miami versus Virginia last night was like watching paint dry. I totally agree. It was horrific. Justin wanted to know, where does Derek Brown go in the draft right now? I think at worst, number 5 in the draft. A lot of people think he may be the number 1 guy off the board. And after you watch what you watch, I don't care who you're a fan of, if you watched him single-handedly dismantle Florida by himself last week, that dude's he's a freak of nature.
I think he'll be the first player off the board that's not a quarterback.
There you go.
And, I don't know which, but you have to take massive risk on quarterback in the NFL right now. And you may say, I don't think Justin Herbert
gonna be coming out
I don't
this
think
year?
Justin Herbert deserves the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Tua.
Well, I mean, outside of Tua,
Well,
Tua, Justin Herbert.
There's a
who
few
are?
of them.
That's what I'm asking.
And then
Just
once you
name
get
them
into a
off.
combine situation, well, you got Jalen Hurts too. And what Jalen Hurts shown with Oklahoma is you put him in the right system.
He's got a big test today too.
He'll put on a show.
Yep.
So you have to take massive risks. I think he'll be the first player off the board outside of a quarterback.
Out of a quarterback. And then these franchises in the NFL are so dependent on like, look, everybody was criticizing New York for taking Daniel Jones. They're stupid. Look at what that guy's doing right now. They don't have the pieces around him yet, but he's the real deal. He's a good football player.
NFL teams have no choice but to keep trying.
Well, you got to get that dynamic quarterback. He makes the things change. I want to go back over and I want you to talk about the Joey Gatewood situation at Auburn. I watched him walk off. I've seen him up close and personal. He's dynamic. But our seats were right there in the corner, right beside the band. I was on row 12, so the players were walking right by me. Joey Gatewood coming off the field is just changes your whole mindset. I'm like, dude, is that guy, that's a quarterback? That's a quarterback? I mean, I'm with you, man. Try something.
Well, look, I don't need you Auburn fans. I'm not a coach.
When you don't get third
I'm a
downs for the 5th time
broadcaster.
in a
I
row.
talk. I'm just a fanboy. I may just start wearing a shirt up here that says fanboy. Because nothing that comes out of my mouth has substance other than I love talking football. And if that's okay with you, you can call in. We can talk a little bit about it. But and I'm going to throw this out there right before I say all of this. This is not a knock on Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix has got a great future ahead. I was one of the biggest Pat Nix fans there ever was. I probably wore 10 because of Pat Nix. Because early in my middle school years, playing quarterback and having an option on a number, that's the years that he was the quarterback, probably a good reason I chose it. So get all of that out there.
Yeah.
I can't say enough positive things about the Nix family. But when I watch Joey Gatewood on the field, and I know the offense that Gus Malzahn has shown us is the best version of one that he coaches up. And that's when you've got a bull or a mobile quarterback. It makes people miss, dynamic in the run game, really a running back there that when it's 3rd down and 3, he's the guy. Bo Nix has shown the propensity of running the ball. 2 weeks ago, he got 60 yards rushing. He's a great athlete. But to not give a package or not give this Gatewood an opportunity to at least let the Auburn faithful, including Gus Malzahn, whose job's sitting here on the line, is asinine to me. And you can be mad at me, you can say, well, Randy, you're just jumping off ship. I'm not. I think Bo Nix is going to be an All-American. I love him. But Joey Gatewood looks good.
But
when he's on
right
the field.
now, what's the harm? And I'm going to say two things real quick. Number one, cue the 8-4 excuses. Cue Gus Malzahn going, well, we went 8-4 in the most brutal schedule in the country. Blah, blah. I already hear it, okay?
Yeah.
I already get there. Also cue Gus Malzahn post-game Florida in the locker room or in the press area saying, when he took the question, all I know is we got to get Anthony Schwartz the ball more, and we got to look at Joey Gatewood in some situations. I wish I had some of that back. It's too late then. You're the head coach. Why are you in the press room telling the press that Anthony Schwartz has got to get the ball more? You're the boss. They're not the boss. You're the boss. Why don't you tell them on the headset, I don't care what we're running, get the ball to Anthony Schwartz. We got to get him some plays designed.
Well, he's the one calling.
Exactly. After the fifth third down and 1 or 2 you didn't get, you might want to try something different. You might want to quit trying to pull a guard to block a defensive end on a running play that ain't worked the first 4 times. Okay? When you decided that you could run the ball directly at somebody and get some yards, it was too late. That's the thing that somebody said yesterday that Andy brought up. Some coach, former coach, anonymously said, he was going to tell his name, but the guy that was doing the interview told him, that's probably not good that you do it. He said, Gus, I love Gus. He said, it's a great guy. He said he's stubborn and bullheaded and will not change, and a lot of times when he makes a decision to change, it's too late. He's his own worst enemy.
I can't.
He's his own worst enemy.
Can't express how much I want to get behind him. I love the culture of his program. I love his assistants.
The players love him.
Our defense,
the players love him.
Defense plays light years away from where we were. And Gus Malzahn's the head coach that pulled that off, and I'll never forget that. And no Auburn fan should. He's got us back playing Auburn defense, and I'm proud of that. And I'm not necessarily upset about the loss on the road at Florida. I kind of expected it. I said it over and over again that it's a game that I was scared of. But there's some talent on this team that could take us to the next level.
I agree.
And then there are some, and look, I could sit up here and just paint you a pretty little picture of a rose-colored glass all you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say as I'm sitting there watching, why in the world do we not have some kind of package that we actually use for Joey Gatewood that's not 3rd down and 1, throw him into the game, he goes and he bulls ahead for 3 yards and he comes back out and he sits over and he burns up. I don't understand
Why does Anthony Schwartz only predicated to taking a speed sweep? Can he not catch? Can you not throw a slant to him? Can you not throw something down the field to him? Can you not? I said this last year. I said, if you're not throwing the ball deep to Anthony Schwartz a minimum of 4 times a game, you're wasting him. When was the last deep ball you saw thrown to him?
Well, we caught one last week, 2 weeks
Schwartz?
ago. Yeah, long pass down the left sideline for a touchdown.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Sure did. But he was.
Well, I checked myself on that one. Okay, so that's one.
But he was 8 yards behind the defense.
Why aren't you doing that 4 or 5 times a game? Why aren't you giving that a chance? Dude, that's a chance for 4 or 5 big plays in a game.
We just end up in press conferences with a lot of the
I forgot. I tuned out Mississippi State. We beat them so bad.
Anthony Schwartz in the 2 weeks before Florida had 4 touchdowns, and he had an average of 22 yards per game on each time that he touched the football in those 2 weeks. Good enough?
And then you don't give him but, 1 or 2 touches against Florida? Well, he had 4. No, I thought he may have had more than 1.
1.
I knew you took that 1 handoff.
1 touch.
That's it. Well, there you go. That's going to be it for this segment. Randy's going to step aside and we come back. I'll close it out here, talk about games on tap today. Stay tuned. We'll the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Hey, you mind if I borrowed this for a sec? I just gotta look something up.
Sure.
Conjunctivitis. That's what I got. You know, pink eye, I just couldn't think of the real name for it. Thanks, man.
When you want quick quality care, come to Russell Medical Urgent Care. We're open 7 days a week and conveniently located behind the Cancer Center on the hospital campus. Russell Medical Urgent Care. When it's not an emergency, but it's urgent.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, final segment of the program here, and we'll close it out. We'll run down the games on tap for today. Obviously, one last night between Miami and Virginia. Like Patrick said earlier, kind of like watching paint dry. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about an event Thursday night coming up in Auburn for all you Auburn basketball fans, Auburn fans, period, that want to go out. And if you're not an Auburn fan, maybe just want to go attend. Auburn Athletics and the City of Auburn partnering to deliver an unprecedented event with tip-off at Toomers. They planned this last year. It didn't work out. There was a storm that came through, and actually a hurricane that was coming through and moving up through the state of Alabama that caused that to be canceled. But they'll give it a go again this Thursday, October 17th. This event will be a celebration of Auburn's run to the Final Four. Also a table setter for this upcoming season. You'll get an opportunity to see this new basketball team, and this is something they're going to roll a basketball court out there in the middle of Toomers Corner, and you're going to be able to go out there and watch. Also, the women's basketball team will be out there. It's a first-come, first-serve event. Standing room only. The event starts at 4 o'clock. Downtown Merchants Entertainment District, Lawn Fest, and then Tiger Talk will broadcast live on the court at 6. And then the first 300 students inside the area will receive a free T-shirt. The main event takes place at 7. The men's and women's teams will be brought onto the court, introductions, and then the men's and women's three-point contest, a 3-on-3 challenge, and a dunk contest to conclude the action. So a fun night in Auburn, tip-off at Toomer's. It will start somewhere around 4 o'clock. The main event starts at 7 on Thursday. Good luck trying to get near that court if you don't get there probably by noon, because it's going to be packed down there. Games on tap today in football. A lot of these colleges look to as far as one of the best rivalries in college football. Oklahoma is a 10.5-point favorite. I'm going to ride with that. I said yesterday on the Auburn Blitz, I feel like Oklahoma wins that game and they cover. But it's going to be a good one. Number 6 versus number 11 there on Fox at 11 o'clock. In the SEC, South Carolina travels to Georgia. Georgia is a 23-point favorite. In the past, this has been a really good football game. Not going to be so much today. I don't think Helinski will have enough on the road. In Athens, I think the Georgia Bulldogs will get it done. South Carolina will fall to 2-4. What will Will Muschamp in this program do moving forward? They seem light years away from being at the top of that division with Georgia and Florida. We'll kind of see how that one plays out. Mississippi State travels to Tennessee. Tennessee is 1-4. Mississippi State is a 6.5-point favorite on the road. I like the Bulldogs to travel to Knoxville here at 11 o'clock and get the victory there. Alabama, as we talked about earlier, at Texas A&M is an 18-point favorite. I like Alabama, and I like them to cover on the road. I know that's crazy when you got this kind of point spreads on the road favoring a visiting team, but Alabama's just proven time and time again to be able to go over and get that done, and I think tonight will be, or the day will be no different. I think they get it done at 2:30 on CBS there. Ole Miss at Missouri. I think Missouri will hold serve at home. They had that one blunder against Wyoming to start the season, but they're a 12.5-point favorite. I think they get it done over Ole Miss. I like Plumlee at quarterback for Ole Miss. He's a good recruit. He was a good player, but he's a running quarterback. I think Missouri will be able to take him out of the ball game enough for the victory there for the Tigers. Arkansas at Kentucky. Can Arkansas get their first win in the SEC under Chad Morris? Kentucky's a 7-point favorite at home. I'm actually picking Arkansas for the upset here. I think the Hogs go on the road. They get the upset in Kentucky, and they'll have a little momentum going into the Auburn game next week, which is kind of scary if you're an Auburn fan. And then finally, Florida at LSU. 13.5-point favorite for LSU. That's number 7 Florida at number 5 LSU tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN. It's a night game in Death Valley. The visitor doesn't usually escape alive in those night games. I like Florida. I like LSU, and I like LSU by about 14 points in this game. So that's your games on tap for today. Some good college football on tap. Make sure you catch it out there. That's going to wrap it up here for the Saturday Sports Countdown. For Randy Lee, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next Saturday.
Attention! Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Task Force, reporting for duty, sir.
Okay, people, it's time to get serious. Serious savings on our entire inventory. Earl, what do we got?
Big savings, Sergeant. Save up to $15,000 off during the summer clearance event.
Excellent.
No payments till 2020. And credit amnesty.
Bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit. Outstanding!
All roads lead to Opelika. Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just 25 minutes from Columbus. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE or Opelika Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.com.
Hello, my name is Dave Milton with Southeastern Land Group. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our company. We sell farmland and timberland in Alabama and the surrounding states. Not only do we have a land sales division, but we also have a timber sales division where we can help you with your timber sales and your timber appraisals. There's 22 of us in our group scattered throughout the southeastern United States. We are a full-service land and timber sales company. We do with farmland, timberland, cattle property, poultry farms. 866-751-LAND. Go to the website, selandgroup.com.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retail or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
Okay, somebody's not wearing their seatbelt.
I don't wear seat belts. Might wrinkle my shirt.
That's okay. I'm sure they can iron it before the funeral.
What funeral?
Yours. Almost 70% of people who die in car crashes aren't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. There. You happy?
Just happy to be alive.
Seatbelts. It's hard to live without them. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Cater your tailgate and game day parties with Chicken Salad Chick. All the Chick favorites like Buffalo Barkley, Kick and Kaylin, and Sassy Scotty make the perfect dips and sandwich platters. Chicken Salad Chick is always a great choice when planning for a crowd. Our grab-and-go quick chicks make it easy. And now for a limited time, Rockin' Rita is back. Made with Wickles spicy red relish, this flavor has a kick of spice. Chicken Salad Chick and fall football, the perfect matchup.